Welcome, Leo, to your in-depth weekly astrology overview and zodiac forecast for week commencing the 11th of May for the ascendant, the sun, or the moon. Going to share the big themes of the week ahead first, then on screen, your event chart on Monday, always influential as a backdrop. I'll then go through each of the influences. By the end of the video, you'll have a clear picture of what you can expect around energy, work, relationships, or finances. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundel. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so now to help it to continue to thrive. But please also click or tap the bell notification symbol. You have an opportunity this week, Leo, to really raise your profile, but in a truly dynamic way. But it may be some of the things you've been doing behind the scenes that's actually going to help you to really get that extra acclaim. It's also a week, however, when your communication in terms of your public profile can really sharpen up too, which is truly exciting. The new moon in Taurus is also a chance for you to set your intentions around all sorts of professional or worldly goals for the following months. But just at the end of the week, a much more social dimension comes in when Mercury zips back into its home sign of Gemini and connects to the electric vibe of Uranus. So on the screen is the event chart on Monday. And there's the sun and also Mercury in the sign of Taurus. Now, Taurus is very much about being practical. It's an earth sign, can be about our personal values, our sense of self-worth, but also about finance. But in that 10th house for you personally, these energies are working their way into your goals and ambitions. But exactly on Monday, the Sun forges one of astrology's most fortunate influences to Jupiter. And they're going to be in touch in a sextile for the whole of the week. Now, Jupiter is in a very shielded part of your situation, and over the last year has given you a lot of food for thought, perhaps in terms of your beliefs, maybe to do with healing, perhaps to do with expanding your awareness of more psychological trends. But also, Jupiter can be about enterprise. So, if you have been having discrete conversations, interviews, or doing soundings or research, all that can come back to you in a spectacularly positive way this week. So people can just be aware that not only have you got talents that deserve recognition, you also deliver them with a degree of sensitivity, and that sees them warm to you furthermore. But just be aware, Leo, that right at the start of the week and late on last Sunday night, the moon was in a square with Uranus. And that could have created a little bit of a jagged edge, maybe around a friendship, maybe around a romantic situation. If you felt that someone's attitudes or values didn't quite align to yours, and something may have happened in a quite quick way, which could have left you feeling unsettled. But do be assured by the end of the week, clarity will come through. But this combination of the Sun and Jupiter is then joined by Mercury. Now, Mercury in Taurus is great for not just communication, but because Mercury is the ruler of the sign of Virgo, which, like Taurus, is an earth sign, it's great for analyzing things, but getting tangible results. But that moves forwards, comes into the angle, the Sun's being with Jupiter, which is brilliant for any kind of business activities, but then meets the Sun heart of this week in a cazimi. That's when the Sun's raw power and dynamism pours its energy into the other planet. So it gives you a chance to use your way of communicating or thinking even greater impact. But particularly if you're having a discussion with anyone influential, a meeting, doing a presentation, or having an interview, you can come across extremely effectively. It's a real opportunity. But then on Friday, we have a new moon in Taurus, and the moon in Taurus is in her exaltation. She really loves being in Taurus. Taurus has an appreciation of creature comforts, And you may be thinking about a property issue this week, to be honest, or some ways in which you can improve where you're living at the moment. If you can make it more comfortable or a little grander, why not? But that new moon also flags up if you've been a little bit unsure about what you've been doing for your work, gives you the encouragement to think about a change over the following months. But as we get to the end of the week, Mercury moves forwards and switches into Gemini, which obviously is the sign it rules, so very comfortable there, but meets Uranus, so that creates a real spark. But I think it can also see you have a heart to heart with the person that you felt unsettled with at the very start of the week, with the moon square with Uranus. Because one of the things that Mercury meeting Uranus will do is point towards the potential for a very frank discussion. Now, when it comes to your love life, Venus is in a very friendly part of your scope at the moment, the planet of relating, but Mars, the planet of desire, is in a very expansive part of your situation. If you can find a moment not to be totally focused on your professional or worldly goals, as the week draws to a close, Venus has moved forwards and it's moving towards a sextile with Mars that will peak next week. So if there is someone in your friendship circle who's a bit dashing, a bit different, but you can also look up to and respect them in some ways, it may be someone from a different age group to you that could draw your attention. And just know with Pluto, the planet of transformation, on that seventh house cusp of relationships over the next few years, big shifts can occur. They can occur within existing relationships in a positive way, or it may see them occurring deep within you, even if you're not in one, but you're getting clearer about what you truly want. And Pluto is in a pretty good link with Neptune. So I think one of the things that's becoming more attractive to you is aligning with someone who shares your values, and that could show up towards the end of this week too. Now, I'm going to summarize those four areas for you next, Leo. Now, if you've yet to watch your Uranus Cazimi 78-year, 1 year forecast, so it's the first time in Gemini there's been a Uranus Cazimi, that video, please see that on the screen. If you've yet to watch your monthly forecast for May, that's on the screen as well. You can now buy your personal horoscopes and get three for the price of one. So that's three for one. The one you pay for is your life roadmap report, which helps us to understand the patterns that have played out in our lives so far, get a more intimate understanding of them, and work with those energies future forwards in a more effective way. But free, you get your 12 months transits based on your unique birth data and also your draconic soul analysis, which has a different way of looking at astrology through the eyes of the North Node. So very much about fates. So three for the price of one. I've been doing this full time for 30 years, been interested in astrology since I was 14, and I want to share the power of natal astrology with more people. So please see below for that. Now, if you've yet to sign up for your free daily horoscope fired to your device each morning, please do so now and get your early day cosmic pit stop. And if you'd like to work with me one-to-one, please see my testimonial below. But to summarize around those four areas. So in terms of your professional situation, I think this week is very, very good, particularly if you're clear about what you want to go for. If you're not so certain, the new moon on Saturday will give you a chance to refocus your objectives as we come to the end of this week. When it comes to your romantic situation, the more you can socialize, the more you're going to have an opportunity to connect to someone who excites you. But I think you're looking to have a value-based relationship, not just based on attraction. When it comes to your personal energy, pardon me, having Saturn in the ninth house does suggest that if there are limitations on you at the moment, perhaps in terms of your physical well-being due to a long-standing condition, or perhaps it's your circumstances mean you've got a lot of responsibilities that make it difficult for you to break out and do what you want. That can feel a little bit challenging, but also what you can do is train your thinking, and that's what Saturn can help you to do in the ninth house. And as this week draws to a close and Mars links up with the position of Chiron, if there is something that's inhibiting you around your health or your movement, I think you get a chance to discuss it and release it as this week goes on. When it comes to finance, I think that the brilliant energy of the sun in that wonderful sextile to Jupiter can bring you good fortune, but it may be fortune that's not necessarily material, but it may create the conditions for when you can become better off, but future forwards. It's been a real pleasure being with you, Leo. Thank you so much for joining me. Look forward to seeing you again soon, and goodbye for now.